5:28 p.m. Microphones are live. Microphones are live.
We got the same one, I assume, right? Pass it on to everybody.
Oh, for the name? Okay. Okay, cool. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Cool with Gun Avenue?
Which one?
Gun Avenue, I think that's you, isn't it? It's easy.
I shouldn't, I haven't seen it. We've been doing it. Yeah, no, yeah.
Real good at that.
The chair will call the September 16th, 2025 meeting of the City Council to order. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Redpath, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
The clerk's birthday today, everyone. Would you please call the roll?
Alderman Cox.
Here.
Alderman Gregory.
Here.
Alderman Williams.
Here.
Alderman Rockford. Alderman Purchase.
Here.
Alderwoman Triano.
Here.
Alderman Carlson.
Here.
Alderwoman Conley. Alderman Donlin.
Here.
Alderman Hanauer.
Here.
Mayor Busher.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Clerk Redpath. Civility pledge in the interest of civility. I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that we each may have different ideas for achieving that objective. At this time, I would like to ask for a moment of silence. On Sunday, September 14th, the great state of Illinois lost one of its past governors, Jim Edgar. So I would like for everyone to have a moment of silence for Governor Edgar. Thank you very much. We're going to go into zoning. We all set up and ready to go?
Proclamations or zoning?
We're going to go to zoning.
Okay.
Okay. So the first item on the agenda is docket number 2025-017 for the property located at 3041 Taylor Avenue. Alderman Williams?
Yeah, Madam Mayor, we're going to withdraw this.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second for withdrawal. Any discussion from the council? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. I'm going to ask her.
Alderman Conley, how do you vote? Need a motion for her. Yes.
Oh, can I get a motion? So first I'll do, since this Alderwoman Conley, you're not a vote on this current issue. The ayes have it. It is withdrawn. Thank you, Alderman Williams.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion from the council to let Alderwoman Conley join by phone? We have a motion. Can I get a second? And a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Okay, Alderwoman Conley, you're official now.
She's on the plane.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2025-029 for the property located at 1921 Lowell Avenue. Alderwoman Notriano?
Yes, Mayor, I move that we continue this until the October 21st meeting.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second to continue to October 21st. Any discussion from the council? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Alderman
Go ahead.
Conley, how do you vote?
okay. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The next item on the agenda is item number 2025-030 for the property located at 223 North MacArthur Boulevard, Parcel 1, 1000 and 1004 West Jefferson Street, Parcel 2. The petitioners are Absolute Perfection 2 Incorporated and JB Com Properties LLC. The present zoning classification is S2, Community Shopping and Office District, Section 155.031. The requested zoning relief is reclassification to B2, General Business Service District, Section 155.034, variance of Sections 155.112, surfacing 155.069B3 and 4 fences, 155.480J and I pertaining to transitional buffer yards, 155.063 required yards for lots adjoining residential districts, 155.050 screening and sign variances of Sections 155.320A, C, D, and E, 155.322C, 155.321A, and 155.480G and H. For additional detail on the requested variances, please refer to the agenda packet and zoning recap for docket item number 2025-030. Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning staff recommendation is denial of the requested reclassification to B2, but approval of a use variance in S2 to allow the property to be used as a construction company office, showrooms, and storage of building materials, tools, and equipment, provided that 1, no manufacturing or fabrication occurs on the site, and 2, exterior storage is limited to the business vehicles and equipment in a solid fenced area without barbed wire as depicted on the plans submitted with the petition, and approval of a variance to Section 155.112, the landscape variances in 155.050, 155.063, and the requested sign variances, but denial of the requested variance to Section 155.069B3 and 4 pertaining to barbed wire fences. For additional detail and conditions recommended by the Regional Planning Commission, please refer to the agenda packet and zoning recap docket number 2025-030. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is concur with the staff recommendation. The chair will now entertain a motion.
That was a lot.
Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, I would like to ask before my motion, could Attorney Sagato come up to the podium? As it's my understanding, his client would like to withdraw a portion of the motion or the requested relief.
Absolutely, Alderwoman.
Correct. We've agreed to withdraw the request for 155.480G regarding the landscaping as the street frontage. We've also entered an agreement with the objector that we will put the property, put the sign south of his south property line.
Thank you.
And he's agreed to withdraw the objection.
Thank you. Do I make-
Sorry, Mr. Sagato, the sign will be south of, I'm writing as fast as I can here.
The south of the south property line of 1020 West Jefferson Street.
With your suggestion for amendment, I guess it would be, does the 155.480G landscaping street frontage withdrawal, does that also pertain to the barbed wire fencing, or no?
Yeah, he is also not going to do the barbed wire fencing as well.
Is that a part of that, or should that be added?
But we can add that in if you'd like.
Okay, so also no barbed wire.
That's correct.
Please.
Well, I'm gonna do it.
So do you want to make a motion, Alderwoman?
Yes, do I do that before Carlson?
Oh, I'm sorry, Alderman Carlson, I didn't realize you had chimed in.
No, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm looking on the picture to the right. Is that an entrance off Jefferson Street? Am I looking at that right, or is that a possible entrance?
Well, it's an existing entrance right
Right.
now.
So you can enter and exit off Jefferson? Because it was my understanding, I thought it was not going to be there.
No, it is. It's existing.
Always, I mean,
I mean, I have to clear with IDOT, but,
I would say, I think to use it, you'd
Yeah.
have to go to,
but the
To
intent is
IDOT,
to
right?
be able to use it, so we can go in
Yeah,
and
that's
out
how it
of this
works.
yard right here. There'd be an entrance and exit right there on the side.
thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman.
Now, do I make-
Okay, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I had to write that down. I move that we approve the staff recommendation, but modify the staff recommendation regarding the square footage of the ground signage segment to allow for 374 square feet of total new ground front signage, with the requirement that the sign facing Jefferson Street will be placed so as to not obstruct the property of 1020 and 1024 West Jefferson Street. Specifically, that any such sign shall be located south of the south property line of 1020 West Jefferson. Did I meet everything?
Yes.
Landscaping and the barbed wire, though. It's already,
It's been withdrawn.
okay. So we're good? Mm-hmm. All right. So you're making a motion?
Second.
Thank you, Alderman.
No problem.
So we have a motion and a I'm not going to make you repeat that, Alderman. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. The voting open? And then
Alderman Conley, how do you vote?
So the motion passes with 9 voting yes, none voting no. Thank you for your time this evening. Yes, thank you. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2025-031 for the property located at 3245 Old MacArthur Boulevard, Parcel 1, and 3313 Old MacArthur Boulevard, Parcel 2. The petitioners are Barry S. Kelly and Marcia L. Kelly. The present zoning classification is Sangamon County R1 with the use variance annexation petition filed that is contingent upon obtaining the requested zoning relief. The requested zoning relief is reclassification to I-1 Light Industrial District, Section 155.016 upon annexation. A variance of Sections 155.063A and B required yards for lots adjoining residential districts, 155.050 screening, 155.111 access to off-street parking facilities, 155.112 surfacing, 155.113 screening, 155.131 wholesale manufacturing and industrial plants, 155.480D, H, I, and K, landscaping, screening, and lighting requirements, 155.001 definitions, lot and use, 155.214 and 155.040 permitted uses in the I-1 Light Industrial District. In the alternative, if reclassification to I-1 is not granted, a use variance to allow a contractor shop with outdoor storage of materials related to and accessory to the snow removal business along with the above requested variance. For additional detail on the requested variances, please refer to the agenda item packet and zoning recap for docket number 2025-031. Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning staff recommendation is denial of the requested I-1 zoning, but approval of the S1 with the use variance to allow the requested snow removal in contractor's yard, provided that 1, outside storage is limited to seasonal salt and snow melting materials as described in the petition, and 2, existing fuel tanks shall have bollards installed around the 2 tanks on all sides to the satisfaction of the zoning administrator. Approval of the variance to sections 155.001, 155.063A and B, 155.050, 155.113, 155.131, 155.111, and 155.112, 155.480D, H, I, and K, but denial of the variance to sections 155.214 and 155.040. In the alternative, approval of a conditional permitted use in the S1 for 1 first-floor single-family residence to accommodate the existing residence, and a variance to allow the 2 existing storage tanks in accord with the recommended use variance. For additional detail and conditions recommended by Regional Planning, please refer to the agenda packet and zoning recap for docket number 2025-031. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is accept the staff recommendation of denial of the I-1 zoning and to deny all other variances. The chair will entertain a motion. Alderwoman.
Mayor, I move that we adopt the Regional Planning Commission recommendation, including approval of S1 classification with conditional permitted uses and a use variance to allow the requested snow removal business and contractor's yard and the other recommended variances, except extending the time to comply with the surfacing and bollard requirements to 5 years, and requiring screening along the northern edge of Parcel 1, consistent with the other screening variances granted.
So we have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the council before we bring up the citizen who signed up to speak on this? Seeing none?
I mean, I can just give my rationale. So this business has been in operation for like 45 years. And after talking with the proprietors, their intention is to build a building, and it has to have sprinklers, therefore it has to have city water. And they're going to clean up the place by putting a lot of their materials in said building. And they're not going to expand their business at all. And it's a seasonal business, so we expect to not have a lot of disruption. And it's been operating, so, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Clerk?
Bill Gutchenauer.
Good evening.
Oh, can you give us 1 second? She's getting you set up, sir. Sorry. Okay, now you're good.
Thank you. I'm here to speak of some of the concerns I and others have with the petitioner's application for reclassification of property upon annexation. Petitioners want intense industrial zoning, which will then determine their decision and annex into the city. They want to amend or not abide by many rules required of the I-1 and S-1 zoning classification. Traffic engineer report states Public Works is opposed to surface variances, which would increase dust or particle runoff from the site. It also states that consideration to the adjacent residential area should also be given. Staff then recommended S1 zoning with variances. S1 zoning doesn't fit into this residential neighborhood either. S1 use regulation states, this district is designed to provide retail and service establishments that have minimal impact on adjacent residential uses and provide a buffer between residential areas and other uses more intensive. These regulations are designed to promote convenient shopping and stability of retail areas and encouraging contiguous retail development. This is not suitable in a neighborhood of residential zone houses. S1 zoning is recommended for professional and administrative office use, which would be appropriately located in a medium and high-density residential area, meaning in an apartment complex or an area situation. While we are grateful of the denial of the Industrial 1 zoning, I ask that the zoning staff reconsider the S1 zoning. My description of the petitioner's method of operation was brought up after the zoning board recommendation. And my description of their operations revealed late night through early morning staging and loading of trucks and trailers. Many of these vehicles and loaders are equipped with high visibility, strobe lighting, and loud backup alarms. They also have, in addition to their 10 trucks assisting in their operation, many other trucks, many of them with diesel engines that may or may not be certified clean idle diesels, which contribute to the poor air quality that drift over to the neighbors. They sometimes idle for long periods of time. We ask that the zoning staff rescind the S1 recommendation. In addition, the variances they are asking for allow for so much use that is not favorable in a residential neighborhood. Petitioners' intent might increase their property values, but at the risk of lowering values in neighboring residential parcels. Many neighbors have made substantial investments into their own houses. Some are retired or near retirement. I have concerns about the future sale of petitioner's property. I would like for the City Council to look at this as a residential neighborhood of the whole and not the once of one. It is in my opinion that granting more intense zoning than R1 is paving the way to a less desirable area for first-time home buyers and retirees. I respectfully ask the alderpersons to vote not in favor of all the requests. Thank you, Honorable Mayor, alderpersons, and staff. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there any further discussion from the council? I don't think we're on here. Okay. We're back up. Seeing none, we had a motion and a second. So all those in favor of the motion will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And see if she's there. She's gone. Okay. And the motion passes with 8 voting yes, none voting no. And let the record show that Alderwoman Conley was having a hard time with her connection while on a plane, so she may not be joining us again. So she may not be here. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2025-032 for the property located south of Bunn Avenue, parcel number 22-22.0-200-024 and 22-22.0-200-023, sometimes known as 600 Bunn Avenue. The Petitioners are Kinney Contractors Incorporated. Present zoning classification is I-1 Light Industrial District, Section 155.40. The requested zoning relief is reclassification to I-2 Heavy Industrial District, Section 155.041, and variance of Sections 155.112, surfacing, 155.136, regulations of surfacing for off-street loading facilities, and 155.062C1, permitted obstructions in required yards, front yard, 155.114B, regulations for the location of off-street parking facilities, 155.104, required accessory off-street parking spaces, wholesale manufacturing and industrial plants, 155.048, further special provisions near district boundaries, 155.050, screening, 155.063A, required yards for lots adjoining residential districts, 155.480I, J, and G, landscaping, screening, and lighting regulations. If reclassification is not afforded, petitioner seeks an alternative, a use variance applicable to the subject property to permit in the existing I-1 classification. The use is described in paragraph 6 in the petition. For additional detail on the requested variances, please refer to the agenda packet and zoning recap for docket number 2025-032. The Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning staff recommendation is denial of the rezoning to I-2 is submitted, but approval of a use variance to allow the uses described in paragraph 6 of the petition, provided that no retail business is conducted on the site. The site will not have except salvage materials from anyone other than the petitioner or the petitioner's subcontractors, and the location of the scale is placed so it does not interfere with traffic flow to the satisfaction of the zoning administrator, and approval of the variances is submitted. The Springfield Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is concur with the staff recommendation for approval of a use variance and the variances with the condition that the traffic flow pattern be found satisfactory to the traffic engineer. The chair will now entertain a motion.
Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me. I make a motion to accept the recommendation of the City of Springfield Zoning and Planning Commission.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the council? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion will vote yes. All those opposed will vote no. And the motion passes with 7 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2025-034 for the property located at 3501 Mayflower Boulevard. The petitioner is Real USA Corporate. Present zoning classification is I-1 Light Industrial District, Section 155.040. The requested zoning relief is reclassification to I-2 Heavy Industrial District, Section 155.041. If reclassification is not afforded, the petitioner seeks an alternative, a use variance applicable to the subject property to permit the existing I-1 classification. The use is described in paragraph 7 of the petition. The Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning staff amended recommendation is approval to reclassification of I-2. Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is concur with the amended staff recommendation. The chair will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a recommendation, we accept the, make a motion, we accept the amended Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning Commission, or I guess actually, I'm sorry, the Planning and Zoning, Springfield's Planning and Zoning recommendation.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the alders? No?
And Mayor, real quick,
Alderman Hanauer.
this is a new company coming in, and I'm excited about them. It's going to be a crane business or something like that, building
Crane
cranes. So crane manufacturing. So it's gonna bring some jobs, and so looking forward to it.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other discussion? Seeing none, the voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no.
I'm a yes.
Okay, and there we go. So the motion passes, thank you, Alderman Williams, with 7 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is docket number 2025-035 for the property located at 4900 International Parkway. Petitioner is Nutrient Ag Solutions Incorporated. Present zoning classification is I-1 Light Industrial District, Section 155.040, and a variance granted by docket 2019-038 for the use of 12 inches of asphalt millings. The requested zoning relief is a variance of Section 155.068, garages or accessory buildings or structures to allow the seed bins with structural pad to be 3 feet from the existing building instead of 6 feet, feet, and 155.112 surfacing to allow construction of a drive lane area on the east of the building of 12-inch thick asphalt millings instead of the solid dust-free surface for filling the bins with seed. The Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff recommendation is approval. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is concur with the staff recommendation, including the traffic engineer. The chair will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion, we concur with staff recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to concur with staff recommendation. Any council members? Okay, voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 7 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is item number 2025-036 for the property located at 300, 312, and 324 Bruns Lane. Petitioner is Joseph Lombardo, executor of the state of Agnes Schleffinger. Present zoning classification is R1 Single Family District, Section 155.015. Requested zoning relief is reclassification to an S2 Community Shopping and Office District, Section 155.031. And the alternative, a reclassification to S1 Neighborhood Commercial and Office District, Section 155.030. Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff recommendation is denial of the requested S2 reclassification, but approve the S1 reclassification. Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation is approval of reclassification to S1 with the conditional permitted use to allow residences on the first floor. Council will vote on the reclassification only. The conditional permitted use is a final action that was already taken by Planning and Zoning per Section 155.178. The chair will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Springfield Planning and Zoning Commission recommendation and to exclude the following uses: tobacco/vape stores and tattoo parlors.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion from the council? Seeing none, voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 7 voting yes, none voting no.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is docket number 2025-038 for the property located at 3108 Great Northern Drive. Petitioners are Parkway Storage Limited. Present zoning classification is I2 Heavy Industrial District, Section 155.041. The requested zoning relief is use variance of Sections 155.214, applications for amendments and variances, and 155.041B, permitted uses in the I2 Heavy Industrial District to allow permitted B1 Highway Business Service District, Section 155.033, uses of hair salon, barber shop, professional offices located in the front portion of the westernmost building of approximately 2,268 square feet, and a personal trainer gymnasium to operate in the current warehouse located in the rear portion of the westernmost building of approximately 4,524 square feet, in variance of Sections 155.097, required accessory off-street parking regulations, office buildings, 155.098, retail or service establishments, and 155.101B, gymnasiums to allow the uses described with 23 parking spaces. Springfield Sangamon County Regional Planning Staff amended recommendation is approval. The Planning and Zoning recommendation is concur with the amended staff recommendation. The chair will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I make a motion, we accept the Springfield Planning and Zoning recommendation.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the recommendation of the Springfield Planning and Zoning Commission. Any discussion from the alders? Seeing none, the voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 7 voting yes, none voting no. This does conclude the zoning portion of our meeting. At this time, the chair is going to recognize Police Chief Joe Beal. Chief Beal has a presentation that he is going to give. I do want to make an announcement for those who are listening at home. During Chief Beal's presentation, we are going to have some audio played in the council chambers, and because we are broadcasting live, there will be a pause during part of this audio due to language that will be shared, and so then we will resume broadcasting once that has been shared. Thank you, Chief Beal.
Thank you. Thank you for your opportunity. Springfield Police Department is committed to serving every member of our community and building lasting trust with those who have been marginalized by law enforcement. We haven't always got it right, but we remain steadfast in our efforts to improve. We will reduce harm both to our citizens and our officers by leading with transparency and truth. We recognize that silence leads to speculation. At times, we've remained silent out of concern that speaking up may strain community relations and stall progress. But silence has a cost. In some cases, our officers have been at fault. In others, they have faced false accusations and mischaracterizations in the absence of truth. We will not stand in the face of harm, and we will protect our community, our citizens, and our officers. Our community deserves the truth, and we will have it. The Springfield Police Department has met with community groups, stakeholders, and members for countless years. I've been a part of these meetings for a better part of 5 years, forging long-lasting partnerships, relationships, and even personal friendships with the community we serve. These meetings have not always been easy for the parties involved. Through the years of honest and open dialogue, vulnerability and trust, unbreakable bonds have been built. The Faith Coalition is one of these groups that I've met with. We value their opinions, and we have made improvements and changes to the standard operating procedures because of some of the conversations we have had. A sense of trust, respect, and decorum have always been the three core values of these meetings. Although fragile at first, these bonds have continued to strengthen throughout the years. Last Tuesday, I was venomously admonished because I refused to meet with the community member, Tiara Standage. Tiara has and continues to disrespect and promote anti-police messaging about the Springfield Police Department, myself, taking none of the aforementioned values into consideration. Some of these same values that were outlined by the Faith Coalition in their press release last week. Last September, a group of protesters began assembling on the front sidewalk at Municipal Center East. The Springfield Police Department took no action. This changed when the group, including Tiara with a megaphone, entered the Municipal Center East, disrupting operations on the entire first floor, including civilian operations. This action was unauthorized, illegal, and not peaceful. The civilian receptionist fled her desk area in fear. Employees from the Austin Planning and Economic Development fled to higher floors of the building out of fear. Nearly all SPD resources were rerouted to the police station, making response to calls for service in other areas of the city slow, if not impossible. While in the vestibule, the group and Tiara with a megaphone chanted, "F the police," and then transitioned to "Oink oink, piggy piggy, we're gonna make your life, SHI," and you can fill in the blanks. Tiara and others were escorted out of the building, only to re-enter sometime later and tear down the paper blocking the windows of the glass doors of the front of Municipal Center East. This paper was put there under my direct order as a de-escalation tactic. Covering the windows with paper worked initially until Tiara and one other subject tore it down. This led to numerous people re-entering the building's vestibule. We began to remove the subjects from the building. Shields were deployed in an effort to provide security to our officers, securing the door, as at this point the protests had become volatile and combative, with participants refusing to back away from the doors. Participants refusing to back away from the doors. This was followed by Tiara hoisting a plastic water bottle with the cap off above her head while thrusting it backwards and waving it, pouring water on our police officers. As officers held security for personnel attempting to secure the door again, a protester struck an officer in the head with a wooden stick with a sign mounted on the end. This suspect was not located at this time. The Springfield Police Department showed significant restraint during this event with a group of peaceful protesters who became unlawful. Several participants could have been arrested, but again, we did not in an attempt to de-escalate. At some point, we have to take action. When an aggravated battery, a felony, is committed on one of my officers, we cannot sit back any longer. After committing the battery, Tiara was grabbed by officers who attempted to pull her into a safe area behind the line of police. In doing this, officers were able to get a hold of her hooded sweatshirt. We attempted to pull her behind the line of officers, which is an approved, appropriate, and trained technique, but she fell to the ground as she was pushed by the crowd. At that time, officers let go of her, and a short time later, Tiara was arrested without further incident. After some discussion, and again, in an attempt to de-escalate the lawlessness of the demonstration, I ordered my officers to release her. Let the video and the audio show the truth. Disclaimer, after 45 seconds, there will be foul language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Six more times. Professional faces, do the best you can, all right?
There's nothing to grab on that one.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. For spreading the water on my office. I did not. Yes, you did. Absolutely. They pushed me. Absolutely. Hey, don't that sound familiar? Don't that sound familiar? Under arrest for water? Really? That's fucked up, right? Service yourself. You're asking for a lawsuit. You're insane. These are all. What do you protect? This is fucking
This is a public facility. We have the right to be here. We're not going
Eventually, this criminal investigation led to a diversionary agreement authored by the state's attorney and brokered with Tierra and her legal representation. Diversionary programs are designed to direct the subject out of the criminal justice system. The spirit of the program was for Tierra to assist the Springfield Police Department in fostering a higher understanding between the SPD and the community, for Tierra and the SPD to work together, to build a relationship with the community she serves, to extend the olive branch, to build a foundation for a working relationship and a greater understanding with Tierra. Not to be in the business she operates, but to bridge the gap and foster community relations for all the betterment of the city of Springfield. In the public setting of the city council, Tierra describes this offering as blackmail, as a request for free labor, and stated that she has no interest in doing free work for the SPD. Because of this response from Tierra, State's Attorney John Milheiser reluctantly terminated the program.
Hello, I'm Tierra Standage. I'm the Executive Director of Intricate Minds. I was going to come today and talk about harm reduction, but I think it's very gross, Mayor, how you're treating the victim's sister when she's trying to talk about her experiences with the police and what happened with her sister. I don't know if the chief came back in. Okay, he's here. Great. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what happened. On September 6th, former Sergeant Egan was driving drunk and caused the accident that left Chelsea and Trevor recovering for months. As a fellow business owner and mother of small children, I would like to say that I am very grateful to see Chelsea here today, walking and talking amongst the rest of us, because it took her months to be able to do that. On September 9th, I organized a protest to demand accountability from the police and the arrest of former Sergeant Egan. Egan was not arrested until 2 hours into the protest. At this protest, myself, as well as several other activists, were met with SPD officers in riot gear. After being strangled by my hoodie, I was arrested and told I was being charged with aggravated battery to a peace officer. On January 28th, after being rescheduled several times, I attended a mediation meeting about the protest and subsequent charges. The meeting consisted of myself, another activist, about 6 SPD officers, and the state's attorney. Chief Scarlett was not in attendance, despite requesting that several of my colleagues set up a meeting between the two of us. The meeting ended with the following conditions. Charges would not be filed against myself as well as the other protesters if I, with me, by myself, no agency or anybody behind me, just me, would set up meetings between the police and community leaders to help bridge the gap between the black community and the police. It felt like blackmail and a request for free labor, to keep it short. There is a Police Committee Review Commission, the Massey Commission with the Police Reform Work Group, as well as several other agencies that have been tasked and paid to do these things for SPD. I have no interest in doing free work for SPD, especially when recent footage has showed the level of training and etiquette expected from your officers, managing the scene and turning off their cameras pretty early on. Officer Egan was given special treatment, period. We all could see how drunk he was the moment he opened his mouth. Until you, Chief Scarlett, take accountability for the wrongdoing and conduct of your officers, you are not holding space for the real conversations that lead to real change. Please stop approaching me in public, making small talk. Don't ask me to help you with anything until you're ready to drop these fictitious charges against myself and all the protesters from September 9th and take accountability for your officers. Also, to add note, high schoolers are suspended longer than 6 days for smelling like weed. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That's all we have signed up to speak. The chair will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. We are adjourned.
Tierra's behavior is the reason that not only I, but the previous chief of police declined to meet with her in meetings as a representative of the Faith Coalition. This has nothing to do with Faith Coalition. This has nothing to do with discrimination, which has been portrayed in social media and in these chambers. It has everything to do with Tierra's behavior. This behavior and open anti-police sentiment are why this relationship is beyond strained, as well as the gross mischaracterization of this department, my officers, and myself. It was also posted to social media on September 8th that I refused to attend a town hall meeting with the Faith Coalition. I was never invited. No one reached out to me in any fashion. I was advised of this town hall meeting until a citizen contacted me about it late Monday. On top of that, I was present in these chambers last Tuesday. Not one representative from the Faith Coalition approached me about attending the town hall. This social media post was incorrect. I did receive an email invitation roughly 3 p.m. yesterday from a Faith Coalition representative inviting me to the meeting. I've spoken with numerous highly respected community leaders, some formal, some informal. These leaders represent this community. These leaders support my decision. What is not supported is the actions and behavior of Tierra. You ask why I won't meet with Tierra as a representative of the Faith Coalition? I think it's very evident. The SPD works with people who can build a sense of trust, a mutual respect, and exercise proper decorum even when we don't agree. The inclusion of Tierra with the Faith Coalition without discussion with us and the public comments made by the organization last week run contrary to the years of progress we have made and erode the sense of trust we had. If Tierra wants to be part of the solution, I will extend the olive branch once again. I will meet with her, not as a representative of the Faith Coalition, but as a community member. There needs to be a sense of respect, a level of trust, and rapport built, and we're working from the ground up. I'm committed to continuing dialogue and relationships with groups and organizations in this community. In fact, I had a meeting with 2 highly respected organizations yesterday, but I stand by my decision. Tierra cannot be part of those meetings at this time. I also stand shoulder to shoulder with these leaders who have, for the betterment of this community. Finally, I stand in front of my officers, some of those here today, leading, guiding them, as we continue to protect and serve this great community with dignity, respect that every member deserves. Without truth, we are all victims. Thank you.
Alderwoman Notriano.
Thank you, Mayor. So there's a lot to unpack here. Since it feels like we're getting personal, to say the least, you said that you were venomously attacked for not meeting with Tiara. Were you at all referring to my comments in the meeting as venomous?
I was referring to a lot of comments that were made during that meeting.
But my comments.
Not necessarily, just a lot of comments.
Okay. Okay. So I have to say that I had no idea this presentation was going to happen. It's pretty big, pretty lengthy, pretty meaty in terms of its content. I'm sort of I'm sort of speechless, actually, about the way that you have chosen to address what seems to be a personal conflict with an individual member of the community. But we can talk about that later in private, because I don't do criticism or tough talks in front of everybody. So I said at the time, when I was brought in last September, to watch this footage, that I felt very protective of the protesters because of those shields. When the shields came out, it escalated things. And I saw nothing up there that warranted the use of those shields. Okay? I'm not an expert, but as a bystander, as a potential protester myself, when you bring out riot shields and no one is armed and people are banging glass at the most, that is escalation, okay? And that is part of what I was talking about last week when I said the department has a de-escalation issue. And it's not fair for me to paint with a broad brush, because I haven't watched the body cam footage of every one of your officers. But unfortunately, what I have seen and the decisions and the statements made after the footage of the man being beaten last week or whenever it was, and the immediate knee-jerk reaction of this department to defend the officer, that man de-escalated the situation himself. He walked away and sat on a stoop. Why did your officer decide that he had to go forward with his plan of action of arresting that man? Those are the kind of things that make people in the audience upset with the police and not trust the police. Bringing out riot shields when no one is armed, when those protesters had been on police property for hours before, peacefully. I don't know what escalated it, but I can tell you the first person to pull down the brown sheet was a white woman. And I saw, and I don't know who else was charged beyond Tiara, but I saw several white people pushing at the shields and doing things that I thought is certainly more deserving of the categorization of battery than spilling water, whether intentional or not. Spilling water versus a riot shield, You all are professionals. You're professionals. You have to be able to take criticism, even when it's heinous. And the stuff they were saying was awful. And nobody wants to hear that. But this is a job you all signed up for. You knew that sort of vitriol was out there waiting for you, and you signed up for the job. You cannot lose your sense of professionalism the moment you come in contact with this one-on-one and with members of the public. We trust you. We're desperately seeking to trust you right now. Things in this country are wild. No one feels safe. We want to trust you. Please help us trust you. Thank you.
Trust is a two-way street, Alderwoman.
I'm going to reclaim my time. I have done nothing, and those protesters did nothing to not have a sense of trust.
But we had civilian employees in the building who were in fear.
Okay, that's fine. They're civilians. They don't know any better.
Right.
They're not
They were in
professionals trained to handle
Point of order, Mayor, I
this.
can't hear. Point of order.
Can't hear.
Alderman Williams.
I'm not done. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Alderman Williams will be next.
How'd that idiot become an alderman?
Order in the chambers, order in the chambers. Order in the chambers.
Yeah. Why aren't we taking action against him? We're all so professional
in the
right now and
chambers.
so
Order.
well behaved right now. Nobody's getting bent out of shape right now.
Order in the chambers.
Ridiculous the way you guys
Or-
here and everybody.
Order, please.
I feel the same way.
Order,
I'd like
please.
to know how you became an
Order.
Yeah, I became an alderperson the same way
Ma'am,
anybody
order.
else can. You go ahead and get petition signed and get yourself on the ballot. You are welcome to it. Anybody is welcome to it. I welcome a challenge because you
Ma'am,
know what?
the
I
Alderwoman
respect
has the floor.
democracy and I respect freedom of speech. Call me crazy.
How do the mayor condone that type of act?
Yeah, I didn't hear a single gavel. Not a single gavel.
Order in the chambers, sir. Order. I did gavel those
No,
people.
you didn't. No, you didn't.
Okay.
But it's okay, though. I'll be quiet. Because the alderman is wrong. The alderman ain't wrong. The alderman ain't wrong. Alderman ain't wrong at all.
Order. Are you done, Alderwoman? Or is it Alderman Williams' turn?
I'm fine.
Alderman Williams, it's your turn.
Thank you, Mayor. So, Chief, now, you know, this is not new. This happens all across the country all the time. I told you last week, and you may have been referring to some of my comments last week when I said that I thought you were wrong for not meeting with her. And I talked about her being a part of a group that I've been a part of since 2010. I feel that I saw movement, and that's what I want to talk about, movement, moving forward on both sides, on Tierra's side and your side. I heard you say,
I'm ready for it.
well, so sometimes we have to go through tough conversations and have tough situations, but we got to get something out of it. We can't get hung up on, what was the date of that protest?
September 9th.
Of what year? So now we're almost September again, a year ago. We can't, as a city, get hung up on this. I'm glad you're reconsidering trying to make some communication because you're not the first. Your predecessor had situations where he wouldn't meet with people. Like I told you, the difference was with Chief Scarlett, he said, but my staff can, my other command staff, my other officers, the MPOs, they can. Before him, like I said, we've been doing this since 2010 with this particular group. With Faith Coalition, Winslow says, Roy, I can't meet if you're going to have him because he shot at me as a patrolman. I'm a patrolman. He tried to take my life. I can't meet with him, but I allow others. When I asked you last week, you said Springfield Police Department was the who. They decided no meeting. That wasn't going to work, so that's why I made my comments last week. I am strongly suggesting that we move forward as a city. And I do appreciate hearing you saying you're ready. I'm hoping, I haven't talked to Tierra, but I'm hoping she's ready because we have to do this. We have to move things forward. We're going to have police incidents. We're going to have them. We're not immune to it. Other places all over the world have police incidents. And when we have police incidents, the worst thing we can do is not talk, is to stop talking. So I'm glad to hear we're going to try to communicate again. I've been talking to a lot of the officers. I've been talking to a lot of the community. There's some training techniques that don't look good when they're recorded, but that doesn't mean actually that what we think we see is happening, but it don't justify the intensity. That's what I had a problem with it. But I think if we focus and take this energy tonight that I'm feeling and seeing, and we try to move forward in some kind of way, and we don't back it up and get held. I did not know you was not invited to the panel or to that particular upcoming community meeting. I did not know. I'm hoping, I'm glad to hear that they also sent you it. Howbeit late, I'm glad now that they invited you. I think we kind of mixed apples with oranges when they tied in you not coming to the community meeting, but you not talking to Tierra. There's a lot moving. There's a lot of things moving. I think the alderwoman has a right to her opinion, like I have a right to mine, like you have a right. I don't think none of us, because it's never personal with me. We got too much work. It's too much for all of us to do to make it personal. We can fight tonight, but tomorrow we got to work on something else and do something else. So all I'm suggesting to you is that's exactly what we do, and that's what I'm going to say when I don't see her here now, but when I talk with her, we have to find a way to move forward. We have to stop pointing the fingers. My colleague said it last week. I don't know if he was heard, but Alderman Gregory said, hey, both sides need to get over it, and we need to move forward, and that's exactly what I do. I was offended because I felt like, okay, you're mad at one person, so everybody else got to suffer. I think we've worked through that now because you're saying now, I'm ready. And Mayor, I appreciate the chief moving. Now I'm going to get the other side to move. We're going to have these meetings, and we're going to try to resolve these things. I enjoy the NPOs. They support me. They come and they do things. I think the neighborhood policing is working. I think that call that caused all this wasn't a police call. This is what we keep messing up at. We sent a gun and a badge to the wrong kind of situation because I think he was mentally ill, but I'm not a doctor. But something was different. Something was wrong. He was squeezing his dog and holding on to it and just doing things that wasn't normal. So sometimes we have to back it all the way up to dispatch and make sure we're sending the right type of help, the right type of person, and then maybe we wouldn't get, because the police officer is doing what he's trained. He's trying to get them hands loose, get them hands behind the back and the pressure into the, I could say I'm a military man, 12 years in the service. So I see a lot of what's happening here. And I see a lot of both sides capitalizing on, I'm not going to say social media, but everybody in the room has an opinion, and it's going to be different. Everybody is entitled to their opinion, and we must respect that. It's like what we're going through nationally. Everybody got an opinion about these national issues, but that's all right. That's called First Amendment. I appreciate that you're going to move. I'm going to work with you and the other groups to try to get Tierra Standage to move, and maybe we can come together and move forward. And that's all I had to say, Mayor. Thank you.
Alderman Williams.
So can I respond?
Yes.
Just comment on that. Yes, sir. We had a great conversation today, and I appreciate that time with you and some of your peers, and I am ready to move forward. What I'm not a person that holds grudges. I'm not going to sit on something and never look past it. But we have to have a sense of trust and respect and decorum. And once we get that, we can move past these things and have good conversations and continue to push this thing forward. And I'm ready for that.
Thank you, Alderman Williams. Alderman Hanauer.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, that video, yeah, it was a peaceful protest until they started beating on the glass and trying to get in the building. Our job is, well, your job, Mayor, one of the biggest jobs is to protect the employees of the city of Springfield. They, you know, similar to, you know, everybody talks about January 6th, they penetrated the Capitol. It's no different when you look at it. You're penetrating the city hall, and they you know. And then what were they going to do when they got in there? We had employees that had to be protected, and you know, when you're it was fine when they're outside, but then you start beating on glass. You start, you know, trying to get in, pushing. I'm sorry, but you know, it was peaceful for a while, but it was far from peaceful after that. And their job is to protect the people in that building too. So, you know, and Roy, you're right. We need to move forward. This is, you know, we got to move forward. And you know, I don't know the best ways of going about it. That, you know, but we got to move forward. And you know, that's the bottom line. So. Thank you.
Alderman Carlson.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, we're all elected to represent our wards, and I feel, you know, we've all been here, some of us have been here two and a half years. I feel like I know my ward pretty well. So, Chief, on behalf of Ward 7, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for what you do every day and everybody who works for you behind you. I've tried to shake most everybody's hands, and we've talked about that before. You know, I heard about trust. I'm going to say I trust you. I trust you and your staff. You've got a hard job. You do it every day, and I think you do a great job of it. You know, I think, you know, specifically what happened that day, it didn't seem like it was, like you said, you tried to de-escalate it. And it wasn't until they entered, and then you had to pull out some shields. And I heard earlier, you know, there was a white woman or a black person. I didn't see any of that. I just saw people protesting and trying to get inside the building. To me, it was colorblind. And again, on behalf of myself and my residents, I want to thank you and what you guys do every day on behalf of the residents, citizens of Springfield. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Alderman Donlin.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief. Last week at the meeting, needless to say, I was pretty shaken up after that meeting. I didn't like a lot of the comments that I heard, but ladies and gentlemen, we don't get to like everything we hear in these chairs. That's just a part of doing this job, and I'm okay with that, but I was troubled. So the next day I gave you a call, and we had a really good conversation. You gave me some background information, and one of the items was that you weren't invited to the meeting, that you were being accused of dodging, and that was troubling to me. But you clarified to me that you and your predecessor in the department, the dedication to trying and to continually making this city better, how serious you take the training, how serious you take if we need to adjust something to make this department and the city better, you're willing to look at it all. I heard you say tonight in front of everybody before the videos even played that you're willing to sit down with individuals that you've had problems with in the past. We've got to get, Alderman Williams, you're right, we've got to get through this together. I think we can. I believe that Springfield can do it. I believe with the leaders we have in place, we can get it done. And Mayor, you know, sometimes we saw this video. You were kind enough, I don't know if kind's the right word, but professional enough to make sure that right after the incident that we each had an opportunity. Alderman Nutriano and I were in the same viewing. We saw the videos at the time that you played this evening a year ago. And I didn't like it then either. But this is a reminder of what happened. But reminders are good, but we got to look forward and we got to continue to make it better. And I heard you say you're willing to make that commitment and are making that commitment. And I thank you for that. And those of you in the crowd, please work with them. I believe we can do it, and I believe we can do it together. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Cox.
Thank you, Mayor. Chief, we're not up here being your judge and jury right now, okay? I think we all respect the Springfield Police Department, at least in this horseshoe. Obviously, some would like to change the way some things are done, some would not, but we all base that on our life experiences, right? When I was a prosecutor, I read thousands of reports over those 10 or so years, written by a lot of the guys that are standing in here right now. Some were good reports, some were terrible, so we would deal with that, right? But by reading those reports, I learned that sometimes events escalate incredibly fast. And I saw a lot of videos, and I saw DUI videos, I saw security videos, I saw horrible things that you guys can't unsee. I can't unsee it. I'm going to rewatch all this. This is the first time I've seen it. There's a lot there. I agree with Alderwoman Notriano. But I want you to know that I understand your guys didn't sign up for this. You guys signed up to enforce the law and to protect the people of Springfield. You didn't sign up to be called pigs. You didn't sign up to be attacked. So I want you to know that some of us understand that. You did sign up to solve problems. You did sign up to arrest the bad guy. I want to echo what Alderman Williams said. I love that you want to move forward. I love that you are over it, so to speak. That's great. I hope Tierra can do the same, and I hope you guys can have a wonderful, beautiful relationship from here on out. Yeah, and I guess that's all I have to say. But thank you for bringing it in. I'm probably going to request a meeting to sit down with you so that we can discuss it further. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Alderwoman Purchase.
Thank you. I do want to echo what Alderman Williams said. We had a meeting with you right before this, and Assistant Chief Leach, and appreciated the honesty. We did say, Tierra, that me, Sean, and Roy would ask to sit down with you and with Chief Bill to deal with the situation and figure out how to move forward, because we're here to support both of you guys. And sometimes we know it's uncomfortable. We know things are done on each side the wrong way, but how do we move forward with understanding that we're here to do the better for Springfield? And so I hope that you consider doing that with me, Roy, and Sean, and sitting down with Chief Bill. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderwoman. I spoke on Sunday at the Ride to Remember, because September 11th, 24th anniversary was this year, and its 25th anniversary is next year. And when I spoke at that event in the morning, I said to the group there, because it's groups of people from all economic statuses, all races, all colors, all religions, look to your left and look to your right, because I promise you, someone here does not think like you, does not believe what you believe. Yet we are all here together because we live in this great country, and we are here as one. Springfield is an amazing city with some pretty great people living in it, and I'm proud of that. We, as a community, call our law enforcement professionals when we are at our worst. We don't call them and say, we just made some great steaks on the grill. Would you like to come over? We call them when our child is lost. We call them when our cat's stuck in a tree. We call them when there's a car accident. We call them when there's a death. We call them when neighbors are fighting. That's what they get on a daily basis. I get a synopsis twice a day of how many calls of service they have. It's more than the community can imagine. So sometimes you may not agree with what they do, but a lot of times I think you would agree. You just don't know what they're doing. So I have made a commitment to put a little bit more information out that you will see what's going on in your community so you can see what they do. Because you're only seeing what people want to put on social media with the bad, what they view as bad. You're not seeing the good. Please look around this room. The men and the women of our Springfield Police Department are good people. They know I have their back. They know I respect them. You can laugh all you want. They are amazing, and I will have your back every day. I am your mayor. I am here for the 114,000 citizens of this community, and I promise you a lot of these citizens respect our law enforcement and do want them here to protect them. I agree with you, Alderman Williams. It is time to move on. It is time for us to bridge ourselves together. And Springfield can be the one to do it. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, all the alderpersons, for your opinions as well.
Thank you.
The chair will now recognize Treasurer Redpath Fager for the presentation of the financial report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The Treasurer's report for the corporate fund for the month of August. The beginning balance is $62,914,565.
Go ahead. Okay.
We took in total receipts of $15,897,432. Total disbursements in the month of August totaling $16,292,259, which left the ending corporate fund balance at $62,919,738. The ending general fund balance included $7,568,506, which was the August ending ARPA balance. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Treasurer.
Mayor, I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as submitted.
Can I get a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the treasurer's report. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it.
What the hell is that?
Mayor, report on parliamentary procedure.
Yeah, I don't think we have a quorum right now.
Maybe we had a,
Do you want me to say aye? Am I all right?
Cox went to the restroom, I think.
Alderwoman Conley?
Nope, she's gone. She was on a plane and it was hard for her to stay connected.
there he is.
Did Alderman Gregory leave? Do you know?
Yes, he's got it.
Okay. All right, we're good. That's okay. Can you vote for the treasurer's report?
Aye.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you,
Passes,
Mayor.
motion passes. Thank you. The chair will now recognize the budget director, and to make sure it was you that was back there, for any questions on the OBM contract report. Is there any questions on the OBM contract report?
No, ma'am.
Okay, seeing none, we will move on. The chair will entertain with a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the
So moved.
September 2nd, 2025 regular city council meetings and approve the
Second.
minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The chair will entertain a motion to incorporate the pre-council first reading of ordinances into the record of this council meeting.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to incorporate the pre-council reading of the consent agenda into the record of this council
So
meeting.
moved.
Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The chair will now entertain a motion to place the consent agenda on final passage.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, the voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those as opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with six voting yes, none voting no. Agenda items 2025-247, 2025-281, and 2025-358 remain tabled or in committee.
Mayor,
Yes, Alderman Hanauer.
I make a motion, we withdraw 2025-358.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to withdraw 2025-358. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The next item on the agenda is item 2025-357, an ordinance authorizing execution of an annexation agreement between the City of Springfield, Illinois, and Hicks Gas Springfield Incorporated for the property located as part of 6220 Canadian Cross Drive for the Office of Public Works. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item number 2025-357 on final passage.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mayor, does there need to be a public hearing since?
Alderman Donlin.
There's no zoning going along with this.
Okay, just making sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no.
6.
And the motion passes with 7 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is 2025-359, an ordinance approving the appointment of Dia Langler to the Springfield Municipal Band Commission. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item number 2025-359 on final passage.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Is Dia in, Alderman Donlin, you have discussion.
Yes, she is here, so if she. can
Okay,
come up.
Dia, would you like to come up? You have quite the night that you came for a meeting, Dia.
And Mayor, if I can,
The
while she's.
longest zoning agenda we've had in a while.
Mayor, if I can, while she's walking up, I
Yes,
just know with her background and expertise, she will do a wonderful job. So thank you for your interest.
And we did have, I believe it was Alderwoman Conley spoke on your behalf last week because I think you educated a child
Her
or so
children.
of hers in music.
Several.
Yes, yes. So you did receive that compliment as well.
Thank you.
If you would like to introduce yourself, go ahead.
My name is Dia Langelier. I've lived in Springfield for about 41 years. In that time, I've taught in the Catholic schools and in the public schools, mostly teaching band. And so I thought it would be nice to have someone knowledgeable of band on the band commission.
Well, we appreciate you joining the band commission, and the municipal band is a great asset of the city, so thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, all those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 7 voting yes, none voting no. Congratulations, thank you again.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Congrats.
The next item on the agenda is item 2025-372, an ordinance amending ordinance 413-11-23 and authorizing an additional payment in an amount not to exceed $80,000 with PMA Management Corporation for the third-party workers' compensation administrative services for the Office of Budget and Management Services for the Office of Budget and Management. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item number 2025-372 on final passage.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. She's getting there, she said. And the motion passes with 7 voting yes, none voting no. The next item on the agenda is item number 2025-373, an ordinance authorizing payment of $50,000 annually from the Enos Park and SHA Madison Park Place tax increment funds to the Springfield School District number 186 for 12 years for a total amount not to exceed $1,200,000 for the Office of Planning and Economic Development. The chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item number 2025-373 on final passage.
So move.
I have a motion and a second, and I do have discussion. Alderman Cox.
Just clarifying, it's 50,000 from each one, so that totals 100,000, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I misread it at first, thank you, I just wanted to make sure it was typed up the right way. Second of all, Mr. Council, thank you for the clarifying email that showed that this wasn't ever voted on in the past. I appreciate that very much.
Anything else, Alderman Cox?
No, ma'am, thank you.
Alderman Hanauer.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to reiterate, this is not going to, we'll have the money in the different TIFs to be able to execute this whole thing, won't we? Or are we going to
Director
get?
Raising, are you back there? Can you speak to that, please?
I can speak. Sorry. Thought you were going to get away with it.
I'll be happy to provide you all the figures. I think some of them were provided before, but yes, there are funds for that, and there are funds to continue the programs that we're doing as well.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because,
yes,
I mean, it could have got us in a lot of trouble, so.
It is an expense we weren't expected. You are correct, sir.
Yes.
And Mayor, we haven't found any others that were from the prior administration that we're going to get.
Before this one, I
that's
would have
gonna
told you no, so
pop
I'm
out
never
of a
going to
cake
say
or
no,
something.
Alderman. There might be something that pops up, so.
All right, thank you.
Unfortunately, yeah. Alderman Donlin.
Thank you, Mayor. Director, do we know from the school district what they're going to utilize these funds, how they're going to utilize them?
I was not involved in that conversation. Can I ask Corporation Counsel to address that?
I do not know, and I'm not sure that they know at this time. I think they're waiting to see whether or not we're going to approve this.
Are these funds technically being declared surplus for them, or is it an agreement with the school district to be used for eligible purposes? I just want to better understand what's going on, that's all.
So this would be an agreement to provide the TIF funds to them. So there's not a separate like a TIF agreement, if you would. we're remitting the taxes that would be eligible, so 50,000, which would have gone to the school district, we're going to give to them. If this is passed right now, these are unrestricted funds for the school district.
And I want to thank the school district for their willingness to provide us a letter, important letter, I'm sure, in order for us to get those TIFs extended. But maybe that ought to be discussion that we have, just so we better understand. Thank you, Counselor, and thank you, Director. That's
Yeah,
it,
and
Mayor.
Alderman, if you want to discuss those TIFs being extended, we can discuss that. I would like to discuss that with you because when I became mayor, was unaware that the previous mayor had promised $1.2 million of our TIF funds elsewhere, so that would be helpful.
Thank you, Mayor.
And Alderman, in OPED, we cannot find any files accordingly prior to our direction. Thank you.
Alderwoman Purchase.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, could we get a current update on what's in all the TIFs?
Yes, ma'am. I'll get that to you.
Thank you, and then just double checking with MORDOC, do not vote at all, correct? Because this is Enos Park.
That's correct. This is a combined ordinance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, and Alderwoman, I know you want an update from them. Give them a few days to put these records in, to change some of that for you, so you have live, good information, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, the voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And their motion passes with six voting yes and none voting no. Sorry about that. The next item on the agenda is item number 2025-388, an ordinance authorizing grant number 25-0155 ORC from the State of Illinois Office of the Attorney General in the amount of $84,000 for the Organized Retail Crime Grant Program and authorizing a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $84,000 for the Springfield Police Department for emergency passage.
Mayor?
The Chair will entertain a motion to place agenda item 2025-388 on final passage. Yes,
Point of
sir.
order.
Alderman Hanauer.
Can we do this with only 7 aldermen here? Does it have to, or is it?
Corporation Counsel, what'd you say? Lakeisha?
We're at 7 aldermen, and the mayor can pass this on emergency passage.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, she can vote.
We got 7.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Oh, ma'am.
So I had a motion, correct? And a second?
Second.
Okay, second. And then, anyone else have discussion? Because this is emergency passage? Okay. The voting will now be open. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. All those opposed, please vote no. And the motion passes with 8 voting yes, none voting no. Is there any unfinished business to bring before the city council from the council members?
Yes.
Alderman
yeah.
Williams, I saw your ears perk up.
Is Ms. Director Lesko and Director Posey here again?
Yes, they are both here.
Okay. So as you guys know, I've been working and looking at numbers. First, I don't know which one of you, because I haven't had time to study it, sent me some numbers.
Yeah, I sent that
And
earlier today.
I truly appreciate it. I wish, did all the colleagues get it? To all?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
I
thank
sent
you.
it to the council coordinator.
That's real good. So, in looking at inactive commissions and what's been taking place and trying to understand these boards and commissions that fall under the mayor, because I know the commissions that I'm always interested in can have an impact on my residential numbers, dealing with residency. Is our citizens getting bang for buck by being in Springfield and this, or is the majority community out there getting everything, as well as people of color and women? I'm always interested in those numbers. So my questions tonight are, there's a shortage on the commission we talked about last week. And are we going to be interviewing? Are we going to be trying to replace some of those people?
That's
Because
directed to Director Posey, would that be correct? Sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
You're
good.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, there are a number of commissions where we have people who have resigned or they have termed out. We have a number of people who have put in applications on commissions such as Community Relations Commission, Police Community Review Commission, the Disabilities Commission, just to name a few. Those are going through the process of being brought through and approved.
Okay, so you have applications of people who are interested?
Yes, we do.
And are you willing to accept recommendations or encouragement from current commission members who may bring you people or resumes or whatever?
Yes, those decisions have to be finalized and approved by the mayor. Those are mayoral appointments, but we are always happy and we are
But you
more
got
than
a
welcome to take
process.
rest. We are more than happy to take any recommendations that we can get from people who are currently on the commission, not on the commission, people that feel will be a good person to serve on that commission. We are always happy to receive some recommendations.
Okay, because I would like to monitor that. Hopefully, we can get back to full commission staff and have regular meetings and get that input that's missing when we don't meet, and that's what will prevent from using old numbers like we're using and just passing them on year to years, not pointing the finger anywhere, just trying to move forward and fix what I view that is lacking and we need to do better. And EEOC, when some of the stuff I've been reading, I guess EEOC in Chicago, maybe the Chicago office
Yes.
or region or something. We still have our relationship or contract or whatever is with them?
We do. 2 weeks ago, actually, I attended a fair housing law conference to talk about our FHA, so our Fair Housing Acts. I've been in contact with our new Deputy Director of IDHR, Amy Meeks, so we can sit and we can have some meetings and say, how do we tighten up what we're doing locally to match up with what we're doing at the state? Here in Illinois, we have some very strong laws as far as fair housing, as far as not being able to discriminate against individuals for source of income when it comes to housing. So we are in the process of building stronger relationships, but those relationships are still there. We are also a member of IMRA, which is the Illinois Municipal Human Relations Association. So it's a combination of myself and my counterparts from Bloomington, Peoria, Urbana, Champaign, who sit and see what are the trends that we're looking at in our cities and in the comparable cities around us, and to try and figure out what we can do to help the people.
Okay. And so we have a signed contract with them still?
Yes.
With EEOC? Okay, can you email that to me?
Yes, I can.
I appreciate that. And then the Disability Commission, does it exist?
Yes, it does. So their chairman, Phil Litchfield, reached out to me. They have 2 vacancies where we have people who applied now. It is a very specified commission where at least half of the commissioners must be a person who is disabled, and the other half must be someone who works in the field of assisting someone who is disabled. So finding someone to fit in those spots is it's a balancing act and a very specific appointment that has to happen. But we do have 2 names that have applied for those spots that will fill those seats. Their commissioner said he did not feel comfortable calling a meeting until those seats were filled because some of our people are in wheelchairs. And so trying to have them come out and having the possibility of there not being a quorum with the amount of effort it takes for someone who is disabled to actually get out and get transportation to a meeting would be problematic. So I just had a conversation with our chief of staff last week. We are in the process of reviewing those applications so those spots can be filled as well.
I appreciate that. That's real important. When you, early on in your appointment, you used to push and discuss people of color on the fire department. Now, I know we got our first black female firefighter. Has there been any other black firefighters since?
Yes, there has.
There has. That's good news to hear. I appreciate you guys. I will look at the numbers. I can tell you now, I'm going to be coming. We fell short on residency. I had to scan it because by the time I saw the email, we fell short on residency for Springfield residents, And we also fell short, of course, on our people of color numbers. I'm trying to understand that and trying to fix that. So I'm not ready to go into it yet because I want to read through it. But I appreciate you sending it.
May I ask you to describe so the people listening and in the crowd know what you're talking about with falling short? I know what you're talking about, but they may not know if you don't mind.
Okay, so we have requirements that deal with percentages when it comes to percentages of residents dealing with money coming from the city, mostly contractual is what I'm looking at. I think we do fine as far as employees and, everyday people, but some of these contracts, and I just want to make sure that people of Springfield are taking advantage of it and are being educated about it and know that they have preference in some situations on getting those contracts because I feel I'm a residency type person, pro Springfield. The rest, they can go find their own jobs or move into the city. They can always come here. Same way with the other piece. When we talk about people of color, that's even more challenging because some of this stuff requires skill levels, or if we give the contract to a company that's out of, let's say, Petersburg. I can't expect Petersburg to have all this percentage. So I'm trying to work on that. I'm just trying to make it as equal as possible and, practicing equity
Absolutely.
mostly. So I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you working with me and opening this up so we can get the numbers where they need to be to the different groups that may be able to help achieve some of these goals. Right now, I know their goals. The future plan is to try to, put this in code maybe and make it more than just a goal. But I'll live with the goal because when I came on council, they were goals. So, that's where we're at right now. Thank you
Absolutely.
again.
And if I may for a second speak to our efforts to increase some of these numbers, not only are we starting our Minority Business Institute that is going to be in January, but CAP 1908 and the Springfield Project are also doing a business series right now that will go on for a number of months. I think these conversations have kind of ignited a fire into putting more resources out there for the people and making it known. I would encourage all minority business owners, all minority nonprofit organizers to take advantage of the programs that are being created and put out and to give feedback about what we have, what we don't have, what we're missing, so that way we can continue to create sustainable programs that are accessible and have a limited number of barriers, if any barriers at all, to people being successful.
Okay, well, and I appreciate that. I think that engagement is real good because that's outside of what falls under your department, which is a part of these boards and commissions that come from the mayor's office. And those are the ones, until we get those numbers right and those people serving on the board and have the right amount of people to have quorums and stuff like that, to have regular meetings, then we're impactful. So that's what my goal is to work on. So I appreciate you for discussing with me, and we'll discuss further.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Williams. Any other unfinished business to come before the council? Seeing none, is there any new business to come before the council? You usually have something for me. All right. Oh, yes, Director Posey, sorry. I was looking at Alderwoman Purchase because usually she has new business.
Sorry, I probably should have stayed up here. I just wanted to let everyone in the community know October 4th from 9 to 1:30 at Bun Field, which is 1300 East Division Street. We will once again be having our Build Springfield event, bringing resources to the community with community partners and different representatives from all of the agencies here. We will also have food provided, so we want to encourage everyone in the community to come out on that Saturday morning, October 4th, take advantage of the resources, have some fun, meet some people, and, let's really show what a great community we have here.
Alderman Williams, does that make you happy?
Yeah, it makes me happy. He keeps trying to move.
It's Ward 3, everyone, just so you know. Just kind of pointing that out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Posey. Is there any other new business? Alderman Hanauer.
Yeah, I thought Roy would bring this up. This is another, Ward 3's doing well tonight, I guess, but I want to congratulate the people from Pillsbury. They're actually going to start tearing stuff down, and there's a big crane or something. I'll be honest with you, I never thought we'd see this day for in our lifetime, but yeah, so congratulations to them and Roy.
Well, they have a good alderman.
That's good. I give you a compliment. You give me a shot.
Left it wide open for him, Alderman. Alderwoman Burgess.
I changed my mind. I forgot my sorority sister, Teresa Haley, reminded me. But Director Gwen, could you come up? Because I think it's about the book mobile truck at the NAACP building on Tuesdays, right? The
Bookmobile. She wants you to talk about the
bookmobile.
bookmobile.
I forgot the hours, but she did tell me about the reminder, and me and Sean, and he's not here to do it tonight.
Okay, I don't have the hours in front of me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Just wanted
I can
to-
look them up, but
Okay.
They're on your website, I bet, right?
they are on the website. They're freely
Okay.
available, but the bookmobile is roving throughout the city of Springfield. So.
Okay, good.
And I did see the little video that she did advertising it. So we keep making additional touches and changes so that it's more accessible, so that the books aren't moving around, so things are more identifiable. We're making big strides, so thank you, but
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me. I wasn't expecting that. I was prepared last week, so,
I saw Sean was missing, so I thought I would mention it.
okay.
Thank you.
All righty.
And Director Harrison, since you're there, I know it's sold out, but we don't have a meeting before your NPR exhibit. Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yes, I will. So on Thursday at 6 o'clock at Lincoln Library, and there will be a grand opening for the NPR exhibit. It's put on by University of Illinois, and it's going to be really fantastic. We're going to have a lot of people that were responsible for early NPR coming back to give, to shake hands, to talk about their experiences. There will be heavy hors d'oeuvres. I'm always about the food, you know. And a lot of, it's going to be an exhibit that's going to be at the library for 6 months. So we encourage you to come and take a look at it. On Thursday, there will be things happening on the first floor and on the second floor. And the things on the second floor will be interactive. So we encourage you to come out and, oh, wait a minute. If you haven't signed up, you have to get on the waiting list because they're at capacity right now. So.
But the exhibit will be there for 6 months.
The
People can come see.
exhibit will be there for 6 months.
Thank you, Director.
You're welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Alderwoman Notriano.
Thank you, Mayor. I, too, almost forgot something. My friend who works at SIU Medicine sent me a flyer for an event that's happening this Saturday, the 20th, at the Crown Plaza. It's called Straight Mental, and it's hosted by SIU Medicine and targeted towards Black men. It says, join us for a group mental health safe space for Black men, talking about manhood, mental anxiety, depression, and more. It says it's for men only, and it's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other new business? Seeing none, clerk, we're on to citizens who have signed up to address the council.
Larry Hollywood.
He's coming.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Larry Hollywood, as you see. I come today to address a few issues that I see going around in the community of Springfield. So with that being said, I would like to address the video with the sergeant beating someone, as people allege. That's solemn. Can you not hear me? With that sergeant, he was right in his actions. Passive, resisting is still not allowed, although woman. That gentleman was a passive, resisting person. So when you're dealing with the police, they have active resisting, which that's what he became when they told him to put his hands behind his back. So they have to do their job. So I'm not going to give a whole lot of speech about that. I'm going to get to the meat of this here. We have a lot of people that come here week after week, month after month, year after year, and they talk about the black community. The black community is missing real leadership. We don't need confusion. We don't need misunderstanding. We need true leadership, someone who's going to tell them the truth. Bad behavior is bad behavior. And when you have a group of people that want to go against the chief, want to go against law enforcement, my thing would be to them, shut up. Step your coward selves up and join hands with the chief, the mayor, and the head state's attorney, and myself, and speak up on all the black-on-black crime that's on the east side. No one is speaking on all the shooting that goes on the east side in the black community. We come here, we talk about homelessness, we talk about people needing money, everything in the world, but we do not talk about all the violence that we cause among ourselves. So in order to get this right, I think we need to educate the black community. Teach them about laws, because a lot of them don't know the law. They don't read up on it, and they're not being taught that at home. And with the bad behavior, inappropriate behavior, people's gonna say, F the police. That's cool. But at the same token, we're committing self-genocide because we cannot beat them. We cannot beat them. Not one so-called black leader have stepped up to say enough is enough. It's our mothers, sisters, brothers, fathers that's getting shot down, hurt, victimized, or whatever the case may be. The black community, we have to start governing ourselves. We're looking for the police to do it, but when the police get it wrong, we quick to jump on that. I haven't seen not one person go to the hood because they can't go to the hood. They're not going to talk to the shooters. They're not going to talk to the people that's doing the real crimes out there in the streets. So they could say they doing that. I know they're not there because I be there. So I asked the city and the black community, the mayor, city council, the chief, I challenge y'all. Y'all want to know how to reach the black community? Meet them where they at. Y'all have to give events. Bring down the current artists that these people are looking up to, that they're listening to, the content creators. We have all these high schools because, once again, there's no self-discipline within the kids because there ain't none at home. Half of the parents is high, drunk, or they want to hang out and be cool with them. But they're not leading them to be successful. So in order to get the community and bridge that gap, you can't go to no organization in Springfield is going to help. The city, y'all going to have to partner with someone and bring the people that they're listening to, which is on social media. Them the people that they're listening to, they don't care about, because the community that y'all think y'all talking to, they not up at before 5 o'clock in the evening. When y'all go to bed, they just getting up. So what community is y'all really talking to? They not, a lot of these people that's even here, they not in the community like that there. Because the community, they broke. They need somebody who going to put some money in their hand. Somebody who going to show them how to get some money. Not come here and beg for it. But that's my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Edward Anderson.
Hello, Council. Thank you for having me. Public Access 4 is Springfield's public access program. Renewed on a 10-year contract in 2024, its website is already down and time slot submissions are no longer being accepted. In August of 2023, I learned about Springfield's Public Access 4, and from September to February, I sent several emails to communication directors at springfield.il.us that remain unanswered. Nearly a year later in 2024, Haley Wilson informed me that they were currently reworking Access Channel 4. Another year has passed, and let alone a rework, it needs a rebirth. I understand that Access 4 was scarcely used. It was mostly used for local sermons and masses, and I believe that there were several reasons for that. I won't go into most, but for one, to submit an application for a time slot, the form provided on the city's website since at least 2020 requires you to be a resident of San Antonio, Texas. I also acknowledge that platforms such as YouTube appear to have stripped away much of the function of public access programming, but that's not really true. The beauty of public access is that it's accessible and relevant to the local community. It's not meant to be the world's forum, it's meant to be our own town square. Spaces such as Twitter, a global space, have found themselves divided, simply because there is so much content and you can just scroll down if you don't like it. You can't skip cable. All this to say that I am thankful for the recently appointed communications director, Amanda Brown, and I have high hopes that it will come back and it will come back kicking, and I will not stop until it is back. If there's anything else for me, yes, I'm ending early. It's a rhetorical question. The police chief showed a video containing cursing after providing a discretionary statement. How is that any different from the homeless gentleman that was in here 2 weeks ago on September 2nd, 2025? That is all. Thank you.
Aaron Cahill.
He stopped over there for candy. He came for candy, didn't he?
His wait's out opened it.
Hey, y'all. I had to scrap my speech because I came here for a totally different conversation tonight. But since the police department wants to have their show of force back there during the first half of this city council meeting, I'm going to go ahead and roll with that. Use of force. Use of force, by definition, is force equal to or lesser than the alleged threat. Where do I get my definition from? Well, partially Webster's, but also I served almost 5 years in the United States Armed Forces. I was Texas Army National Guard. I did just under a year in Iraq and just under a year in Afghanistan. In Iraq, I was in charge of running a prison where they really don't give a crap about you. So you going home or you dying there? Those are your choices. When it comes to riot shields serve two purposes, and two purposes alone. They're not utilized to hit people. They're not utilized to push people down. They're utilized to push and protect. A majority of the force on a riot shield is supposed to be utilized at the lower half of the riot shield, meaning the knee and the leg are supposed to lead. The arms are only used for support. That's how it's properly used. Also, you have an individual in a crowd, you need to get out. You don't use a riot shield to push them down. You don't reach through the riot shield and grab them by the hair, as has been evidenced in multiple videos from the ground. You push past the individual that you want and push the crowd away from the individual. That way you can safely put the individual in flex cuffs. That's the proper use. So whoever is training our officers here to use shields, doing it freaking wrong. They're doing it and it's going to hurt people. I've not had very many run-ins with law enforcement here. In fact, the only two times I can think of were they were called to my house because I shot a pellet gun, and they pulled me over for an alleged suspended license or alleged bad tag on my car. Those are the only two run-ins I've had. But you know, I've got that skin color that protects me. And I know that. But to sit here and victim shame an individual who was legitimately assaulted by the police is absolute and utter crap. It is. We got a lot of people talking about how to properly do this and how to properly do that. And that's cool. We watch YouTube videos, we learn, we read literature and we learn. But a lot of police tactics are outdated. For example, the 25-foot rule. Officers commonly do a drill. And when they do that drill, it's to get their firearm out within somebody that's charging them from 25 foot away. Something like the 5-second drill, 4-second drill. I forget. It's been a while since I've done that, had to do that one, because I just use my pistol as a club if I have to. That being said, law enforcement should be held to a very high standard, higher standard than we're holding them to, quite honestly. An officer should never punch a guy that is on the ground or knee a guy that is on the ground. That awesome little yellow thing they got on their belt, that's called a taser. You drop your cartridge, you dry stun. That's why they have it. You know how expensive those things are? They should be using them. If you're on top of a guy or gal and they don't want to give you their arm, guess what? Dry tase. The X26 taser and every taser beyond that one was designed to dry tase without a cartridge on it. It's not hard to figure this job out. Some of these guys are getting out of control. And again, I really don't appreciate the show of force. Have a great night.
James Johnson.
Give us one moment. I don't see. There you go. Okay, go ahead, sir. Sorry.
Good evening. I'm going to blame a lot of this on the Black Caucus. I asked you guys to have a meeting with the community after Sonia Massey, and we haven't had one. I asked you guys to let the people come to a function other than a church and let them ventilate and let them say what they got to say. That's why we got what we got going on now. Now, here's the question that you can answer in my 4 minutes and 30-something seconds. Is there anywhere in writing that that police chief or the fire chief or anybody has to meet with anybody in the community? Now, you think about that, and then you can let us know at the end, because it sounds like we're making him meet with people. Now, here's another question. Ask him, ask yourselves, how many different groups do he meet with on a regular basis because they're, community? That's what I want to know. Because I'm going to put it out here, and I'm going to step on some toes, and I'm going to make some people mad. But God dang it, if you don't live in Ward 2 and Ward 3, stop acting like you running it. Or stop acting like you care. Coming up here talking about Ward 2 and Ward 3. But you don't live here. You don't see the crime. I don't know what makes Faith Coalition the one that he has to sit down with. Or any other groups. Where are they when the shooting go on? Better yet, matter of fact, there's another black girl that was killed by a black man, and I ain't seen not one of them up here saying anything. I ain't seen nobody but myself come up here and say something about the violence got to stop. But we got bigger fish to fry that's going on, and in my little time, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to talk about what's really going on, because I don't want my people to be bamboozled. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, because what's going on in the country, I'm about to blame the media. And TV 20 don't want to tell the whole truth, and none of the media wants to tell the whole truth. I said a week ago, the 2 Ds, we have
The 2 Ds.
He just messed me all up. Disruption and a dictator is what I spoke on. And they're defunding Black America. We heard nothing from our local news about the defunding of the black colleges, HBCUs. We heard nothing about the threats the other day of all our black colleges having to go on lockdown from threats. We ain't heard nothing from our local news about the unemployment rate for black and brown or for black women. So if y'all know the new owner of TV 20, you just let them know. I would love to meet him. Because the news is a joke. And they're part of the whole thing. Don't believe what you see on the news, especially our local news. We got to come together. What y'all going to do when it's a civil unrest? Now, I know what the mayor going to do, Mayor, because you did it, and I know about it. You got on the phone, and you got the National Guard ready because everybody thought we were going to cut up, and they thought it was going to be something when the Sonia Massey thing happened. But then nothing happened. But there's a dictator pointing a finger at all the black and brown. We getting blamed for everything. And he's stripping money from everything. So this little fight right here, it ain't nothing compared to what you might just see. And it's called civil unrest. Now, I'm going to go gloves off from here on out and palms up, G's up.
Clerk.
Oh, sorry. Jim Graham. Kind of got lost in the conversation.
There we go.
Thanks a lot for your time, guys. Jim Graham with Lake Area Disposal. I'll make this super brief. If I may approach, I just wanted to pass something out right quick.
We have someone that will help you there, sir.
I'll hand it to her. Thanks. This conversation is just about a rate increase for garbage service in Springfield. Wanted to bring it to your attention. I know a lot of you guys probably weren't on the council when the last rate increase happened. It's been about 9 years now since we've had a rate increase in Springfield. It's written into the city ordinance that we can't raise the rates in the city. Coming around to you is just a copy. It says clearly that the city council may review the rates at any time upon the request of refuse haulers at the Office of Public Works in the event of cost increases such as fuel, compost, and landfill charges. All those charges, as you could imagine, have gone up an incredible amount in the last 10 years or 9 years. Everything for us goes up at least 3% when we pay to get rid of this stuff. Gas has went up about $1 a gallon since we've had our last rate increase. It also says in the city ordinances that the city council shall review the rates and fees no less than once every 3 years beginning July 1st, 2019, and that has never happened. Again, this is just bringing it to the attention of the council, hoping we can get some movement forward. Appreciate your work here. I know this is a crazy night, and garbage costs is probably the least of anybody's concern, but thanks for having us, and I really do appreciate all of you guys working together and working for the city. And we're just bringing this to your attention so that we can hopefully move forward on it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
If you have any questions about garbage, appreciate you guys that have us, and we have about half the city. We've been working hand in hand with the city since 1932 when we started. It's a family business, and we want to continue with the city.
Would you please go back to the podium? Please go back to the podium.
Alderwoman Purchase has.
Yes, ma'am.
Plus, I was going to tell you, we really couldn't hear you while you was not talking in the mic. But thank you, Jim, for what you do, and you guys do a good job. I just have one request for you to consider the garbage cans, because that's how I can tell, at least in my ward. Like in Lincoln Park, I have some people who are using, like, laundry baskets to put their garbage in, and I have to turn it in to my inspectors. I just talked to Director Fuchs about that today, and he'll be seeing more of those come in too. But I think, like, if we had a garbage can that you can provide, it would be easy to be able to cite them as well too, because they're using it as a garbage can.
I totally agree, and outside the city limits of Springfield, we do offer garbage cans where we have been allowed to raise the rates over the last 9 years. And they're very successful. We've had about 2,000 of them out in the county, Leland Grove, Jerome, all the surrounding small areas. And we plan to go forward with those cans and offer them to our customers in the city limits of Springfield when we move forward with a rate increase.
So you're saying if you get the rate increase, you're going to give out some garbage cans?
That is our plan, absolutely,
Okay.
yes. To offer that as an option. A lot of customers, I think, will want to continue with their old cans, and that's fine, too. We're not going to say it has to be a Lake Area can. It's just going to be an option, yes.
Okay, thank you.
We've been doing the yard waste for the last year. You guys allowed us to do that, and it's working out good for us and for you, I believe.
Yeah, I saw
Thank you,
your
sir.
guys going down Laurel. It was like 3 of them out hauling butt to get them branches
We got a
up.
great crew. We're some great guys.
Sir, I will tell you, since we've converted, we do not get complaints about yard waste pickup, so
Yeah.
thank you.
You guys
Thanks,
are doing a
Mayor.
good job.
That's a real compliment. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
You got some new paint jobs on those.
Yeah, we're working on
Noticed
getting them
that today.
painted. Yes, sir.
They're the red and white truck.
Thanks for your time.
Yes, sir. Clerk?
Hey, thank you.
Maribel Cruz Hine. It was my birthday party today on the office. I ate way too much. Huh? Oh, yeah.
Wow. Whew. Well, I missed you guys. I would like to start, as usual, with our moment of silence. For Silverio Villegas Gonzalez, a person murdered by ICE, the 422 people that have been starved to death in Gaza, people martyred in Palestine, Yemen, Lebanon, Qatar, Congo, Sudan, and all the lives lost due to gun violence. I came here, actually, I was going to talk about Indigenous Peoples Day, but all these deaths have equal value, but why do we treat them differently even in death? Who has the right to have rights? Who has the right to feel safe in their home? Who has the right to speak? Who has the right to be heard? Who has the right to live? I hope you all say everyone. I'm not a religious person, but I'm spiritual, so I may have different beliefs than everyone. But I hope that everyone has that moral compass is the same, that everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Love thy neighbor, wish on me what I wish unto thee. So that's why this intimidation tactics by the chief, Joe Bell, a public servant, made me so upset because it is discrimination. Let me walk you through the process. An officer refusal to meet with an entire org solely because one member is not necessarily legal discrimination, but it's a serious issue that raises questions of ethics and civil rights. Whether it is considered illegal depends on the specific reason given for the refusal and the loss of our jurisdiction. When could it be discrimination? Retaliation for protected activity. If the officer's refusal to meet is in retaliation for the member's past lawful activities, such as protesting, police conduct, or filing a complaint, it may be illegal violation of our First Amendment rights. Inconsistent treatment, police agencies that engage in a pattern or practice unlawful conduct, such as discriminatory harassment or refusing services to certain groups, can be investigated by the Department of Justice. We cannot expect to be doing the same things as our predecessors and expect change. I mean, I would like to hear the exact reasoning that led to this exclusion of one of our community members. Perhaps with a discussion, like I think it should be like, they should go to the police misconduct workshop. Everyone should go, I mean, the whole community. There's several events that the Faith Coalition has been putting. Please go to them. So what this action told me about the SPD is how many people have he excluded that did not have a voice or belong to organization? It made me feel more unsafe and mistrust. Where is the cop accountability? I worry about what kind of community I am leaving my child behind. That's why I come here and talk. I'd rather be home. Honestly, I'd rather not be talking to you guys, you know? I have faith that you guys will represent all of us, not just some of us. So with that, I'd like you to go to Intricate Minds. Go. Why are people so afraid of Intricate Minds or Tierra to meet? Why not sit down or actually have coffee, have one-on-ones? That's what I learned from Faith Coalition. One-on-one. Just talk. You know? That's how we break those barriers. It's like we have, like I say, we have different beliefs, but we have our common core is good. We want the good for our community. So free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free your minds.
Bree Roberts.
First, I'm going to say I'm going to mention a couple of different organizations that I am part of. However, everything that I state is my own opinion. Do not allow anything I say to influence how you feel about these organizations. Getting off of the elevator, I arrived late. I didn't know what was happening, and I just saw, I don't even know how many police officers. I genuinely froze. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what was happening. All I know is my fight or flight kicked in, and I froze because of how terrifying it is to see 30-plus officers for no reason. Unless there's like an actual concern, I don't see a reason why we need to call all of the city's officers in here. I haven't seen a majority of you at any of the Massey Commission meetings. Not only am I on a work group, but I am a commission member. And although we are attached to the county board, this affects Springfield as well. And for all of the aldermen that want to say that color doesn't exist and we're ignoring the real issue and trust is a two-way street, I just want to say, where were you when we were presenting the evidence that color does exist and that there are actual racial disparities in Springfield and that black people are discriminated against by the police at sometimes 1,000 times more likely to get pulled over and searched than a white person? But color doesn't exist, right? Because you don't want to see it, because you don't want to accept that you and your bloodline have benefited from systemic racism. And that's just what it is. And if you're not okay with accepting that, maybe you shouldn't be in a role where your job is to partially or wholly care about and fix the systemic problems that are ran in this city, right? Because you guys took on this role to make Springfield a better place. And Springfield is failing consistently because of systemic racism, regardless if you're racist or not. You don't have to be racist to benefit from systemic racism. I am a person of color, and I still benefit from systemic racism because I'm lighter than other skinned black people. And I'm aware of that, and I can admit that. But half of you on here can't, and it's really shameful. What happened today, the turning off the live stream and not announcing it, unless it was announced, I could have missed it, the blatant disrespect from the mayor to other older people, the gaslighting was insane. I have never been so angry at a city council meeting. I was sitting in my chair, shaking in tears, because I am tired of being gaslit by white people who think that the things that we experience every day because of the color of our skin doesn't actually exist. We have people sitting up here talking about, oh, well, these officers didn't sign up for this. You know what I didn't sign up for? I didn't sign up to be treated differently because of the color of my skin. But unfortunately, that's something I have to deal with. Can we have a conversation about that? Or do you only care for the officers in this city? Do you not care about your civilians, the people that your officers are supposed to protect and serve? Does it not matter when they are using their power and they are going unchecked because the people of authority don't care? Does it not matter when the people that are being abused and oppressed and targeted don't look like you? Is that why it doesn't matter? I'm so tired of coming up here time after time, just asking for you to care about us. We don't look the same. But to you, we're all humans, right? We're all humans. That's what y'all wanted to talk about today. We're humans. Then why don't you care about us? Why don't you actually go out and talk to the people in Ward 2? Because you don't actually care. Because it doesn't actually affect you. I can sit here with tears in my eyes. And none of you are going to do anything about it because you do not care. I cannot deal with this anymore. I don't want to live in Springfield because y'all do not give a shit about me and give me a 30-day ban. I don't care. Y'all don't want to care about me. I don't care about saying words that are going to get me in trouble up here, because the people who are actually doing issues and causing problems in this city are not being held accountable. But y'all are going to make sure I get my 30-day ban, right? Because I said shit. Feel my anger.
One more time. That's it. Third call.
Well, if all the cops are here, who's getting away with crime? I sure hope those guys weren't all on the payroll while they stood here and acted as an intimidation tactic to the people that come here every week. If you don't think what you just watched was a performative propaganda puppet show, then you've clearly been too deep in the tank, and maybe that's part of the problem. To compare the people that were at that protest to a protest where they murdered police officers, Ralph, do you even admit to what happened January 6th? Do you even agree that Donald Trump lost the 2020 election? Don't interrupt my time.
Please address
Don't
the
you
chair.
dare.
Please address the chair.
I don't have somebody interrupt me. This is my time. I spent almost an hour listening to the police chief engage in open character assassination while you guys hit it from the airwaves. That's censorship. And after the performative dance I've seen over the last week over the murder of a podcast host where people treat it like he was the second coming of Jesus, do you know the man that you called a patriot, Ward 1, said that black women's brains are too smooth and that's why they can't get jobs on their own? That's why they got to steal a white man's spot. That's who our city leaders post about. That's who we lower the flags for. It's absolutely disgusting that after a week like that, I have to come to this council and have over 50 police officers engage in open intimidation tactics. Because if you don't think that's what it was, get out there and get them boots shiny, boy. Because you definitely ain't on my side. I'll tell you that right now. If you had a private talk with an officer, any officer, and that was their response, and you think that was okay, that's absolutely insane. They are using their authority, their access, and their ability to intimidate citizens and silence them. Do you know how many people are scared to come here and tell you about their interactions with SPD? Because that's what happens. We just had an officer punch a man in the face repeatedly on video, and they'll tell you it's just tactics. Tactics. It's wild, man. We live in a world where free speech is deeply under attack. Deeply. Nothing at that protest required riot shields, regardless of the fantastical imaginations of some of the people present in these chambers. It's absolutely wild that you are so scared of hearing from your own citizens and refuse to come speak to them after an officer committed a DUI and ran over two people. They wouldn't come out and talk to us. They were scared of their own citizens. And what does that tell you about their relations with us? That they have to pull a secret meeting that wasn't even on the agenda to spend an hour engaging in open character assassination of community members. If you don't think that's what it was, then you're not paying attention. They didn't just hand me a master's degree in mass media communication. That was very clearly a tactic, and if you don't recognize it, you need to be more aware of what your police department is getting away with within your city. How did that many of them have time to show up here? They show up to protest Egan after one of their own ran over 2 citizens and 6 of them helped glad handle that guy? Where were they then? Where was the chief when we came out and asked for them to talk to us? They were busy pointing and laughing at us from up in the windows of that department. They weren't scared, Ralph. They were enjoying themselves. They thought it was a show. Look at these dumb citizens out here protesting against a police officer who ran over 2 citizens while we handed them 6 cups of those. 6 cups. What do you think would happen to any one of you? Well, some of you. I think we all know who'd get away with it. Oh, yeah, because we do. And I think the simple fact is it's disgusting that people need to be scared to speak out, whether it's about Charlie Kirk, the SPD, or anyone else. I don't live in a third world country. I don't live with a despotic strongman as my leaders. I will say whatever I want, however I like, to whomever I feel, whenever I decide to. That's America. And if you don't like it, if it upsets you because people say maybe Charlie Kirk's hateful life led to his hateful end, then maybe you should be more aware of the fact of how you treat people and what happens when you talk about people the way you do. Violence is not just physical. Violence is a promise. When police officers come around to intimidate, it's a promise. It's a promise that we could do the same to you anytime we want, anytime we feel entitled. And guess what? We'll just call it tactics. We'll just say it needed to be done. I mean, look at the video. You can see he was being aggressive. If you guys go home tonight and you think your police chief is in control of this city and what he did helped the situation, you're lying to yourself, and we will all pay for it.
Clerk.
Lisa Johnson.
Yep. How many different copies we got? 2? Big stack and then the...
All right, you're receiving just 2. I brought 4 copies of literature, but you're only receiving 2 because, of course, my plans for tonight have changed as well. On the first, it's something that you should probably all be familiar with. It's the First Amendment and the values of the First Amendment. I would like to direct your attention almost halfway down the page where it says, freedom of speech includes the right to use certain offensive words and phrases to convey political messages. And that was decided in Cohen versus California, 403 U.S. 15, 1971. To this date, it has not been changed, and it would take a Supreme Court decision to change it. The second thing I would like to say is that I would like for us all to have a very quick moment of silence for 3 people. One is the black man who lost his job for saying what he really felt. 2 are the 2 black men who were found hanging from trees in Mississippi yesterday. I do not believe that you really understand the ramifications of your extremely biased actions. You come here and you talk about some civility pledge every single week. And almost every single week, Madam Mayor, you show some act of incivility. The way that you treated my Ward 6 representative was reprehensible. It was reprehensible, and it's not the first time that you've done it, Mayor. Please, 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 do not ever wonder why I don't speak to you in public. I refuse. I absolutely refuse, because you are not a representative of the entire city. You just lied to the city of Springfield when you said that you were here to represent everyone. Ma'am, You do not, your actions do not show that you represent everyone in this city. You fired someone for only saying their opinion. You made a black man lose his job. Do you consider that fair? While another white man you said nothing about when he said that Charlie Kirk was a great American patriot. May I please explain something to you? I have a PhD and I am quite intelligent, have been since I was 12 years old when I took that silly little IQ test that everybody says, which is extremely biased. However, when I got my first job in college, my best friend was a white woman, a white and indigenous woman, and she knew how I felt. And so she said for me to be quiet, and she would voice a lot of my opinions so that she could protect my career. That is my best friend. So she was in the news this weekend and called Charlie Kirk really reprehensible, the fact that he had a list that created so much harassment and fear for professors across this country. But you fired a black man for defending his right to say what he needed to say on social media. So that second piece of that article that you have, that is the legal stance on freedom of speech in social media. I believe that I, as an educator, need to take some time to educate you on what freedom of speech actually is supposed to be, on what the United States and what democracy is supposed to be. Do you understand how we got to be such a great nation? Because you said that this was a great nation. Do you understand? It was because young people, just like these people, fought for us to have the freedoms that we had. There were 4 different civil rights movements. There were 4 different feminist movements that gave you the right to sit in the very seat that you are sitting in, and to watch somebody like Bree be almost moved to tears because she has served our nation and our community, and you say nothing to her. The black community is diverse. All of us will not think the same ways. And we're not supposed to, because we are not a homogenous group of people. But you should listen to us all.
Thank you. Clerk.
Vanessa Knox. Vanessa Knox.
Not with any employment or group I am affiliated with. Last Tuesday was one of the most difficult times for me to be here. It was not only sad, it was depressing what happened. I've had a lot of meetings for the last 4 or 5 years that Chief Beal has been at, and all the representatives of Springfield PD. As an activist, we've met with other ones. We've done things with DOJ. We've done lots and lots and lots of meetings. And if someone would have told me that he would come and cast out anybody the way it was done last week, I would not have believed it. But to sit there and see that was very disturbing. No one, there has not been anyone in Springfield, and there's been a lot of chaos out there that has been ostracized like that, called out, take up all this time at the city council to call out one black woman in that manner and come back with a Jerry Springer show like that. That is not only unprofessional, but what is expected of a high-ranking official in Springfield like that, that did not represent that. That is retaliatory. Nothing in it is restorative. That was strictly to hurt. What happened last week and this week. Yes. That was strictly playground bullying is what that was. and to have all the room packed with police officers. There's a lot of good police officers here. Most of us feel that way. But they haven't had a good record the last few years of all the things that are going on. So as the community, we put a lot of it aside. What goes on when you call and you don't have someone come and all these type of things. There's been a lot that we've had to put aside. And we sit in these meetings, we take off work, we try to make sure we tell little kids, don't be afraid of the police. They're supposed to be here to help you. What are we supposed to tell children when they come in front of city council on TV and cast out one particular person like she's the biggest chaos agent Springfield ever had? There has been people that have killed folks, that's had other positions. There's been just ridiculous sign wars. You guys stay till 10 o'clock to talk about who's going to have which property, the grass wars, the sign wars, all of those things. What was as equally deflating last week is only 3 people, Alderman Gregory, Alderman Roy Williams, and Alderman Notariano, said anything. You could hear crickets with everything else. But today, when he comes up and says, I'm willing to move forward, everybody had something to say. But no one had anything to say last week when he cast it out, said her name, shows videos. It looked like Entertainment Tonight or something. You don't do that to people. And I would have never believed he would have done something like that. So to have that type of mentality that you have to retaliate, who is next? Who's going to say something that somebody at Springfield PD doesn't like, and they're going to be retaliated against? Do you know how scary that would be for the chief of police in the city you live in to call you out and say his whole entire police force will not be anywhere you're at? What is supposed to happen to her if she needs police? What's supposed to happen to her if she feels scared? That badge says to protect and serve. It's not to protect and serve certain people some of the time way I want to serve them. It's to protect and to serve. I've always had a close relationship with law enforcement. My first degree was in law enforcement administration. I interned with Springfield PD. What happened last week embarrassed me for that. It embarrassed me. Not a lot of people said too much about it. That was absolutely playground bullying. Notariano, I appreciate you, as well as the other 2 that said something, that had the nerve to speak up. You're not going to get the same amount of Christmas cards. You're going to be like us. We're not going to get them. But you have to not worry about that. You have to know that speaking up for what should be spoke about is the right thing to do. The silence of the rest of you spoke louder than everybody speaking last week.
Roy Walton.
I got a comment.
What's that?
I have a comment.
Alderwoman Purchase would like to say something. Go ahead, Alderwoman.
Thank you, Mayor. I heard James earlier, and I just heard you too. We just had a meeting with the police department, but right before we came here, we was not aware of the video that was going to be shown, but also that's why I said for Tierra that we 3 was asking for you, because I'm sure you're going to have some feelings that you want to share from watching that, from sitting here in the audience, but thinking that we still could move forward and you still get out and express how you feel as well too. And so I just wanted to make that clear, because we getting text messages in our group right now about how could y'all let this happen, how could you let a video be played, and we don't have control of that. We're seeing what you are seeing too, and we'll be able to discuss with the police department and ask that we still do a meeting with you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Walton, go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. My introduction is the community considered a workplace for the police officers? It says yes, and then it's violations of policies under federal law 42 U.S.C. 1983, Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, and the Equal Protection Clause that can be a civil rights violation. Inside the department, discrimination against a member of the public is normally classified as bias-based policing or profiling, conduct unbecoming because it undermines public trust, Mayor, violation of constitutional rights because the officer is at work when they do it, it's still a work-related violation, that the city can discipline and the courts can punish. Being that the chief of police as well as the department members have actively participated in several of these behaviors, which violates company policies, constitutional rights, and ethical codes, we are asking for a formal investigation and an opportunity to have a meeting with the mayor, city clerk, corporate counsel, and the alderman to discuss the allegations and the possible consequences or resolutions. This request is a public formal ask. Failure to investigate these allegations will allow anyone responsible to also be under violation of dereliction of duty and the other federal and state codes and statutes. The community would also like to invite you to the upcoming town hall meeting, the entire city council, including the mayor, city clerk, corporate counsel, chief of police, and any other union reps or department members. Thank you for listening.
Chair Sandage.
Give us one moment, please. She's resetting the time clock, ma'am.
Please. Ready, girl?
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Go ahead.
What we witnessed today is nothing less than intimidation. It's the same intimidation I was talking about on that video the last time I came to City Council. A 35-minute presentation about me is not transparency, it's targeted harassment. And I just want to add, those documents that they placed on there looked a lot like the documents that were leaked on Facebook earlier this week, that I put a FOIA request in for any FOIA requests that had my name on them, and none came back. So that came from internally, from your SPD department. They're doxing me. When public servants use their platform to single out a private citizen, they cross a line. This is not accountability. This is an attempt to silence me, to make an example out of me, and to discourage others from speaking truth to power. If this is transparency and an olive branch, where did everybody go? Are the voices of the community that they serve not worth listening to after this lovely presentation put together by SPD Police Chief? If the chief is so willing to move forward and create space for change, why is he still trying to actively exclude me from the groups that I'm already a part of and control who is in those meetings? That's intimidation. I want to remind you that I have a track record for peaceful protests. I conducted 6 straight days of demonstrations at the Sangamon County building calling for justice for Sonya Massey. For 6 days, nothing happened. No violence, no escalation, until we went to the Springfield Police Department. And they themselves escalated it. They brought butcher paper to cover windows and riot shields to a peaceful protest. That is intimidation. That is control. Let's be clear. The difference between that protest and January 6th is stark. Ours was a peaceful demonstration in a public meeting space. A space we were advised by the ACLU that we had every right to occupy. Yet rather than protecting our rights or sending somebody to speak with the family of the victim as requested, SPD chose to escalate against us. Today's 35-minute presentation is a continuation of that same intimidation, but I want to make it clear, I am not intimidated. My presence here is proof that I will not be silenced. I will continue to stand for what is right, not just for myself, but for this entire community. And yes, I'm from Ward 2, 16th to be exact. To the mayor and council, I ask, is this how our city leadership chooses to engage with residents through intimidation tactics? And most importantly, how can our residents trust this department if its leadership devotes time and resources to targeting individuals rather than solving problems? We deserve better. Our city deserves public servants who serve, not intimidate. And to repeat myself, I will not do free work for the same department that uses intimidation tactics to silence me and other community leaders, the same officers that continue to terrorize my community and beat and kill my people. But I will continue to be the community leader that not only the ACLU and the Faith Coalition, but my entire community, as well as Intricate Minds, trust me to be. And since I got a minute left, I want to read some text messages sent from your best friend that just came up here and said that this is all the black community's fault and that the officer was right in his use of tactics. I just want to read some text messages. These were sent last Wednesday from Larry Hollywood. I told you I ain't intimidated. I don't care. Hello, T. Are you free to talk real quick? Or can I text you what's going on, what's on my mind? But it's dealing with what you spoke about yesterday at City Council, my sister. I said, we can text. He said, okay, I was just thinking, why not do a protest calling for the chief to demote that officer and get a full report of all the complaints that's been made against him and the actions that are taken. Remind people that his behavior is that of Sean Grayson. I said, a protest won't accomplish that. That's why we're doing a town hall. He said, when that brother sat down on the stairs, he was not ever showing any signs of aggressiveness, but was trying to explain to them that the dog was his dog. The police aggravated the whole situation, and this have been a pattern and practice when sometimes refused their command when the officers could have talked to him and tried to get an understanding of what's going on. I said, yep. He said, okay, I will be there. Do you need anything for the town hall meeting? I said, no. Except get some black men there.
Thank you. Clerk?
Veronica Glass. Veronica Glass.
One more time.
Veronica Glass. Tina Montgomery.
Good evening, everyone. I am here because last week I appreciate Alderman Roy Williams for addressing some issues and concerns that I have as being the chair of the Community Relations Commission. So I'm here really the importance of filling those positions and on the Community Relations Commission. This commission plays a vital role in addressing community concerns and fostering stronger connections between residents and city leaders. However, we currently aren't able to do the work required of us because we do not have enough active members to reliably make a quorum. The commission is authorized to have 11 members. 9 now are members that are listed online. You can go on communities, boards, and commissions and see the names. Of those, 2 have been unresponsive. 2 have resigned. That leaves us with just 5 active members, the bare minimum required for a quorum. This means we have no margin of error, and even if one person is absent, we can't even meet to conduct any business. The only way we were able to hold a meeting in June of 2024 was because Director Posey recommended a new commissioner. That individual successfully was appointed. Without that appointment, we would not have had a meeting then. It was also during that time, former Chief of Staff, Disco, informed us that the mayor is holding all appointments to commissions. This is why I'm asking for support both from the council and the community. If you are a resident of Springfield and are interested in serving on the Community Relations Commission, I strongly encourage you to apply. You can do so by visiting the City of Springfield's website under Boards and Commissions. Please keep in mind that while you are nominating yourself, final appointments are made by the mayor. And if the commission is not the right fit for you, I encourage you to consider serving on any of the other city boards and commissions. The only way to help change the system is to be at the table where discussions are had. If you are interested, you can call or text me directly. I will be happy to share that phone number. And I'm happy to share and contact of any of your aldermen for guidance, because aldermen, this falls on you as well. When commissions aren't fulfilled and there's not people sitting, work is not being done, and the information you receive is one-sided. One-sided. So together, we can work together to strengthen the community relations and even ensure the city remains responsive, inclusive, effective, and address all the needs of the Springfield residents. And I would also add that if we are commissioners, this is a voluntary role. We volunteer to do this work. I understand that Director Posey has a viewpoint of how he believes those commissions should be ran. But this should be a collaborative effort. We should work together. We should be sitting down together having conversations. And if there is areas that maybe a director or two might not be knowledgeable in, this is where other people need to step in, and we need to be asking those questions. So I'm here to urge the city of Springfield, sign up. Let your voice be heard. Don't sit back, sign up. The more we do, the more we know. And the mayor, it is up to you to move this forward. It is up to you. I've asked to meet with you several times about the commission. You've offered to come to our meeting, and we still have not had a chance to connect. I've seen you in various different forums. So this buck stops with you. So I encourage you to please move the nominations forward if they are here, and let's get the boards working. And then I'd like to work with you, Roy, a little further. Excuse me, Alderman Williams, a little further. Because I think you all have a vision that we may need in the community relations side. I can talk about what I want, but it would be helpful if we had both what's happening in the city and what's happening in the community together. So I thank you for giving this time. I am here to serve as long as I can. My term is technically up. My term is technically up, but I've been renewed. So whoever wants to come and join us, please join us. Thank you.
Reggie Guyton.
I'm going to adjust this real quick. Please don't start my time. Okay. Good evening. It has been 372 days since the accountability protests at SPD, mere hundreds of feet away from where we are gathered here. 372 days since the public demanded accountability for SPD's actions as a whole, as well as a very public demonstration that our community is fed up with the lack of accountability, transparency, and decency from local law enforcement as a whole. While I initially started writing this speech, it was with the knowledge and the understanding that many things have not changed, including Officer Peters' propensity to use violence in excess, the intimidation tactics local law enforcement continues to utilize, or the complete disregard for equitable solutions that could benefit Springfield as a whole. Since then, what we can say that has changed, well, based on a few things, is this. The mayor's office response time to current events has drastically reduced. Madam Mayor, your response to Sonia Massey's murder at the hands of Sean Grayson was released via video July 22nd, 16 days after she was murdered, a whole 2 weeks and 2 days. The incident involving police officer and almost retiree Michael Egan happened on September 5th. Video footage addressing that incident and spelling GoFundMe happened around 4 or 5 days after that initial incident. In contrast, just 3 days ago, September 13th, a message came out from Madam Mayor Misty condemning social media posts from a city director in which he, quote, appeared to celebrate the death of an individual. Later, you go on to say that promoting any violence or glorification of it has no place in our city. This incident and the social media post in question references the murder of Charlie Kirk, which happened, September 10th? 3 days after. I just want to note that this is the pattern that we're now following, okay? It is important to note that while this event is marked as a dark reminder of the violence that exists in American history, this event happened in Utah and was incited by someone from Utah. It has very little to do with Springfield, Illinois. Strangely enough, the incident was referenced by Alderman of Ward 1, Jeff Cox, in a statement made on his social media. Charlie Kirk was the epitome of an American patriot. He was peaceful, thoughtful, believed in free exchange of opinions, and welcomed a peaceful debate. There is no room for violence in the political arena, and those responsible must be held accountable. No person nor family deserves to go through such a tragedy. May God bless Charlie Kirk and his family. Now, I'm going to take a break from what I wrote down just to simply say, yeah, what happened to him was completely and morally just horrible. However, it does not absolve him of the way that he chose to live. It does not absolve him of the way that he chose to relate to fellow American citizens and even immigrants. The fact that we have someone praising him is very telling to how you see our community. The epitome of a patriot. Charlie Kirk wasn't even a man who served in the United Armed Forces. So and I say this all because it's relative. How you choose to interact and reflect on American culture, whether it's inside of this city or without, tells the citizens of this city so much. It tells us that not only do you not see color, which means that you implicitly have a bias, it tells us that you are not concerned with how your other citizens who are a part of the communities that he spewed hateful rhetoric about. Now, me personally, I am a queer man, a black man, and a first-generation college student. I worked hard to get where I'm at, and I think my community respects me enough. I come here when I can. You know, I'm tied between Sangamon County Board now, so I can't do all of that as much as I would like to, but I still advocate on behalf of my community. I'm still out there having conversations with the people in my hood because they matter to me. So regardless of what people say about if there's representation or not, it's out here. And part of us representing means that we have to tell you when you're wrong. It means we have to tell y'all when y'all have lost the plot, when y'all have lost focus. Extolling a man like this does not tell us that you are for the community as a whole. It tells us that you are more focused on division and erasure. How can you sit there and whitewash a man who has literally promoted violence, xenophobia, homophobia, and racism? How can you do that? Now, why is that all relative today? I have 12 seconds, but I'm gonna make it count. All of that gives way for officers like Officer Peters to be as violent as he wants to. It says that other communities do not matter, and I think y'all need to remember that anytime that you have these situations. Thank you for your time. I'll be back next week.
Kayla McGuire.
Let's say it one more time.
Kayla McGuire.
I don't think she's here tonight.
Okay.
Brianna Day.
Last one.
Okay.
That was an interesting presentation.